Okie dokie. Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren, the language nerd here. Hope you're doing very, very well on this fine Tuesday evening, or obviously whatever day and time it is for you guys as you are watching the recorded version of this video here. And so I'm super excited about today's topic, which is going to be, in fact, I haven't even shared my screen yet, so let me share it right now so you can see the topic. All right, it should start sharing momentarily. There we go. Which is teaching listening comprehension. And so this is our 7th session of teaching foreign languages. I'm really, really excited about it. And yeah, super excited about this topic. Listening comprehension is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I think hopefully, my hope after today is that after you watch the session, you have a nice structure that you can follow, a nice formula that you can follow in classes that can help you to teach the ability of listening comprehension a little bit better than before. I do want to stress that today, the session is definitely more of an adult-friendly session. Sometimes when I have sessions, they're more adult-friendly. Sometimes they're kind of kids and adults. Sometimes it depends on the session. But today it is definitely a much more adult-friendly session, something that the style of education, the style of teaching that we're going to cover off is more suitable for adults than it is for children. So let's dive in here. Let's go to this About Me page in case you don't know who I am, and this is the first video you're ever seeing about me. Probably not the case for most of you, so I'll do this really, really quick. So my name is Azren. I'm from Calgary, which is a city in Canada. I love learning languages. I speak English and French, Spanish, Mandarin. I speak Gujarati with my family. It's really a big part of my life. Teaching is also teaching foreign languages rather, and teaching as a general whole is also a big part of my life. I love it. I've grown up in a teaching household. My mom's been a teacher ever since I was born. Well, not since I was born, but since I was a child, let's say, young child. Anything I've really done professionally, any real jobs I've done professionally as an adult have all had massive teaching elements incorporated into them. And so I love teaching. I love language learning. They're two very big passions of mine. And yeah, there's a very, very fast introduction about me. So let's get into these steps of the steps of teaching listening comprehension. The first thing you're going to want to do is you want to find a video. You want to find a video in the target language. So if you're teaching Spanish, you need to find a video in Spanish. If you're teaching Japanese, you need to find a Japanese video. If you're teaching Mandarin, you need to find a video in Mandarin. You can find these videos, I'd probably say on YouTube. YouTube is probably one of the best places that you can find videos, perhaps on Netflix. You want to make sure the level is appropriate, which we'll get into in just a moment here. When you find a video, you want to make sure, ideally, that the video has same language subtitles and English subtitles, with the assumption that the student's first language is English. So the ideal scenario is that you're able to have subtitles in both the target language and English, because that's going to actually help you to teach listening comprehension. It's really going to help you with that. In fact, even for language learners who happen to be watching this and they're not teachers, if you're doing this yourself, or perhaps you're doing this with your teacher, in a class, maybe with a private tutor, this might even be something that, you might even pick a video that has same language and English subtitles, because you're going to literally follow this process, walk your teacher through it, teach your teacher how to do this so you can follow this process in your classes. So ideally, you're going to want both same language and English subtitles. That's the ideal scenario. If you can't find that, what you definitely want to find, if possible, and in most major languages you can, is you want to find a video that has minimally same language subtitles. That's the most important thing that you need. English subtitles is secondary. You need to make sure the video is level appropriate. So if you are a beginner, you cannot go find some movie on Netflix. That's not what you want to look for. You're not looking for a movie on Netflix. You're not looking for something, as a beginner, you're not looking for something that is meant for native speakers of the language. That's not going to be right for you. So you need to find something that is not too hard, not really, really hard, and not really, really easy. Something that's just a little bit challenging for you. A good general rule of thumb, I suppose you can follow, is without any preparation, if you just turn the video on and watch, if you're able to understand minimally 50%, 50%, you know, that's got to be minimally a base point. At least 50% of the video you have to be able to understand to be able to working with that video. I would even say slightly better, slightly more is better. 60%, 65, maybe 70. That's really ideal, but I could let 50% slide minimally. So it must be level appropriate. People often ask me, Azren, you know, where do I find these level appropriate videos? How do I do that? Well, in my eyes, the best way to do so, or one of the best places to look, is YouTube. You have to become an expert YouTuber. Not, that sounds funny. Not YouTuber in the sense of, look at me, I make YouTube videos and you're recording vlogs and stuff. A professional YouTuber in the sense of you are really good at searching things on YouTube to find the videos that you're looking for. So I'll give you a couple search queries. You might search something like beginner Spanish listening comprehension, beginner English listening comprehension, intermediate Japanese listening comprehension. You might search something like, if you're working in French, for example, or in fact, any language, to be honest, you could use the CEFR levels in order to find the right level of video for your student, or even for yourself, perhaps, if you're a language learner. So the CEFR levels are A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Those are the 6 levels. You might search A2 English practice, or English listening comprehension, B1 Japanese listening comprehension. Often you'll be able to find videos by doing that as well. If you're unable to find videos by doing that, what you might want to do is change on YouTube. One thing you're able to do is you're actually able to search for playlists and not individual videos. So you can change your search query so that you're not looking for videos that show up. You see playlists, and often someone's made a playlist with different videos and someone's done the work for you. Another thing you might do is search. You can also adjust your search criteria, and you're not searching by, how do I say this? You're not letting the YouTube algorithm dictate what videos you see on your screen. You can actually change it. So you can see videos ordered by the date they were uploaded. So there might be a really small YouTuber who makes videos for what you're looking for, but they just don't make the front page of YouTube when you enter the search immediately. So you might be able to switch it up and make that the search criteria say, you know, recently uploaded, and you might find a smaller YouTuber who makes some videos appropriate for what you're looking for. Another place you might want to look for videos is Instagram. Instagram's another place you may look. If you search by using hashtags, so hashtag English listening comprehension, hashtag beginner English, and you scroll through the videos to find what you're looking for, that's another great place you might want to look, and you might be able to find something that's right for you. So those are a few ideas on how and where to find a video. I made a note in passing earlier about the CEFR levels. Just in case, maybe I'll just type it here so you have a visual. CEFR, you have a few levels. A1, in case you don't know what they are. A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Anything with an A is beginner. Anything with a B is intermediate. Anything with a C is advanced. So A1 is beginner level 1. A2 is beginner level 2. B1 is beginner level 1. B1 is intermediate level 1. B2 intermediate level 2. C1 is advanced level 1. C2 is advanced level 2. And so you might have a search query such as that. You might use those levels in your search queries to find a video. So we found a video. Now what do we do? Well, you're going to watch the video without stopping. You're going to make the student or students watch the video without stopping. No subtitles the first time. And you're just going to have them try their absolute best to capture what they can from that video. Please note that the goal is not for the students to try and understand every single word. The goal is to help them capture as much as possible and have minimally, at least, a general idea about what's happening in the video. Minimally. that's kind of what you're aiming for. And often students get very frustrated because they don't understand. They're like, wow, that was so hard. I only understood like half, like 50%, 60% of what they were saying. Oh my goodness. It's important for you to jump in there and say, oh, that's right. And that's great that that's where you are. Please understand that's normal. And by the time we're done this exercise, we're probably going to get you up to like 80, 90, or 100% of the video. And that's and it's crazy how quickly you can help students to do that. Assuming you picked a video that was right around an appropriate level, difficulty level for the students. So you've picked a video. You've watched the video without stopping. You've literally watched the whole thing. No subtitles, no stopping. You've watched it from start to finish. You're going to watch the video again, but you're going to watch the video with same language subtitles. So what this means is you're going to watch it again, put the same language you're going to put the subtitles on so you can see that while the video plays. You're still not going to stop. You're going to play it start to finish, no stopping, same language subtitles. Okay? Hopefully after this step, students have their comprehension of the video has already gone up, noticeably. Hopefully, most of the time, that's what's going to happen. Now, you're going to watch the same video again with same language and English subtitles. Now, sometimes the video may not have English subtitles, in which case you're stuck and you might skip this step because you're not going to have English subtitles. But if you have them, watch again with same language and English subtitles, and hopefully that helps the students to at least at the end of the step, if there are English subtitles, now they should know what's happened in the video. They might still not know every single word. There might be some parts where they're like, I can't hear the words the people in the video are saying. That kind of stuff's still going to happen. That guaranteed is still going to happen, but hopefully at this point, they still know kind of generally what's happening. They know, even when they don't catch all the words, they still know what the person's saying. Hopefully the English subtitles help the students to infer some of the words and phrases as to what they might mean, the unfamiliar ones. So this is an important step if you have those English subtitles available in the video. Okay? Now, this is the part that's going to take the longest. You're going to watch the video line by line, sentence by sentence. Okay? You want to keep the same language subtitles on, right? You want to keep them on during this portion. And you want it, I didn't finish the sentence. So you're going to keep the same language subtitles on. You're going to analyze each sentence and ensure students fully understand what's each sentence. You want to make sure students fully understand. Oh, I see why I did it down here. There we go. Let's delete this. There we go. Perfect. You want to go through line by line and make sure students fully understand every single sentence, and it really makes sense to them. You've covered unfamiliar words. You've talked about some unfamiliar grammar points. You've talked about maybe the pronunciation, maybe the way the people in the video pronounced that sentence is not the way that the sentence is actually written. So for example, in English, right? Like if I say the word written, I just said the word written out loud. Written is spelled, let's write it in here. Written is spelled like this, written. But I don't say written, I say written. So that might be a learning point where the student's like, I don't hear a T. He's saying written, but I don't hear a T. Why? And this is a point where you can teach around what happens with English double T's, and you can talk about that pronunciation point. So you're going to analyze every sentence at a reasonably deep and detailed level. So every single student, or if it's a group class, you might have to settle with the majority of the students, the highest percentage possible, and ensure that they fully understand each sentence. Rewinding is your friend in this portion. What that means is once you've listened to 3, 4, 5 sentences, it's a great idea to rewind and listen to those 3, 4, 5 sentences strung together one more time to see if your students can understand what's being said now that you've analyzed every sentence. Most of the time, they should be able to, most of the time, right? And then you may choose to slow the video down. So what I love about YouTube is YouTube actually has a function without downloading anything. There's a little gear icon in the I wonder if I can show you here. Yep, here we go. So I'll do some demos in a moment. So here's a video, right? Let's zoom in. notice there's a little gear icon down here, right? There's a little gear icon. If you click that icon, you can change the speed of the video. And often what might help for many students is if you change the speed to 0.75, so you're changing the video to, you're actually slowing the video down by 25%. It has hit and miss results. With certain videos, it distorts the sound and it's actually harder to understand. And certain videos, it really helps a lot. As a general rule of thumb, if the people in the video speak quickly in a natural speed, so if the video's at a normal speed and the people in the video are speaking actually quite quickly, faster than the average native speaker, slowing the video down by 25% works tremendously well. But if the native speaker in the video or the person in the video speaks the target language quite slowly, actually, even in their regular speech, slowing it down is actually going to make it harder to understand. So for many people, if you've got some fast speakers, you may want to slow the video down by 25%, and that might really help during this portion. You do want to make sure you also are watching at 100% speed, the full normal speed, because students' ears need to kind of get accustomed to that. But this is a great tool, slowing the video down on YouTube. It's a really, really good tool that might help. This is the step that takes the longest. Watching the video line by line is a step that takes the absolute longest. Now that you've watched the whole video, you've watched it with subtitles, you've analyzed, you've rewatched certain difficult parts, well, you're going to rewatch the whole video. I would probably do with subtitles. I almost changed my mind, but yes, rewatch the whole thing with same language subtitles, not English, same language. Watch the whole thing again, start to finish. You might pause at certain portions, especially if it's a private class and it's just you and the one student. You might pause at certain portions again if the student's like, wait, what did they say there? Can you rewind that? You might rewind and listen to certain portions again. But generally, you're going to watch the whole thing again with subtitles. And lastly, you're going to rewatch the whole video without any subtitles, regular speed without subtitles. You may need to repeat this step here, rewatching with subtitles and rewatching without subtitles. You may need to repeat that step a couple of times. So notice how much repetition you're doing with these videos. There's a lot of repetition happening, and that repetition is such a key factor for listening comprehension. You want to listen to videos multiple times. And in fact, it's not a part of this presentation here, but I will say this. It's a great idea. It's a very good idea to actually revisit old videos 1 or 2 weeks later. So if you watched a video today with me, we analyzed the whole thing. We took an hour, 1 or 2 hours to go through everything. We've watched it. It probably is going to take more than one class, to be honest. But still, you know, you've spent all this time. We've gone through the video. We move on to something else. And 2 weeks later, we rewatch the same video. You need that reminder. You need to go back to old content. Revisiting concepts and revisiting old things in a class is a great idea. It's a very good idea. Excellent idea. The best. The other thing I'll say is it's not in this presentation either, but be mindful of video length. This kind of goes into, let's go back up here. This goes into the concept of level appropriate, making sure the video is appropriate for the level of the student. That's a really big piece. Generally, you know, unless someone's super advanced or something like that, generally speaking, you want to keep videos. Let's give you a general rule of thumb. There's not an exact science here, but general rule of thumb, you know, a few minutes for beginners max, 2-3 minutes maximum for beginners, maybe 3 to 6 minutes for intermediates, maybe 7 minutes, maybe 7 to 9 minutes for like upper intermediates. And advanced, you've got some more flexibility. But once you get in that intermediate, you know, anything below, any intermediate and below, you've got to be keeping those videos nice and short, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, and even 9 minutes is long. Because this process, for a 3-minute video, this process takes at least an hour, at least, if not longer. It takes a very, very long time. So it's a long process, but it's super effective. And you rinse and repeat this process. Ideally, what you want to do, to be honest with you, The ideal thing you actually want to do is you want to repeat this process with videos that are about the same topic. So you've got, you know, let's say someone, you're doing a unit in a class about fitness, health and fitness. You want to watch like 5, you know, 3 to 5, I don't know how many, depends on the courses you're running, the classes you're running, but ideally you want to repeat this process for multiple videos that are all about health and fitness, because you're gonna get a lot of a lot of vocabulary that repeats, a lot of phrases that repeat. There's gonna be a lot of things that repeat, right? Even grammatical points at times that are going to repeat. And so the third video about health and fitness will be easier than video number 1, because there's going to be an overlap in content and material between those 3 videos. So what I want to do for the last chunk of this is I actually want to do, oops, not questions, that's for the live people. I actually want to do a bit of a demo with you today. So there's 2 demos. The first one we're not going to do because I'm sure we'll get some copyright issue, but as I've put a video link here, and so you guys can go visit that video. It's a video I did with someone I know who has a Russian YouTube channel. He's a mutual friend we have, or rather, a mutual friend of ours introduced us a couple of years ago, back in 2017, I want to say. I think it was 2017, yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. This video was made in 2017. So yeah, it was in 2017. We were introduced, and we made a video together. This video is basically, it's a listening comprehension video designed for English speakers. The format of this video is it's not exactly this format that I shared today, but if you just notice how this video is structured and how, you know, how the whole video is outlined and the structure of it, you know, it's very similar to the process I shared today. And it's a pretty good example of how to break this process down and put it into a video form. You'll notice first we watch the clip, right? You know, we watch the clip, I break down the new words, we watch again, we take out the subtitles, there's lots of repetition, we rewatch the whole clip at the end, like, because we follow many of these steps. And then we're gonna do a demo number 2 right now. We're gonna do it together, okay? So let me stop the screen share, because I've got to share a different screen with you here. So let's stop the screen share, okay? Let's take my headphones out. I've got to share a different screen here. So let me share my screen. Okay. And actually, what I want to do, let's do this slightly differently, actually. Bear with me for a sec, guys. And we're going to share this one. Okay. You guys should be able to see something. It's a post from my Instagram, okay? My Instagram account. And so we're going to pretend that I'm running an English class, okay? I'm running an English class, and I want to walk you through this exact process here, this exact process, okay? So we've picked our video. Here we go. We're good. Step 1 is done. We picked our video. Step 2, we have to watch the video without stopping and no subtitles. So let's do that. Let's do that together here. Let me open up, oh, hang on a sec here. So let's play the videos. I'm just gonna cover these subtitles, and here we go. Do you find that you have a different personality in the different languages you speak?
I'm more sincere in other languages. I can lean a little heavily on sarcasm, or I guess not expressing all of my like positive emotions. I'll rely on humor and sarcasm and things in English, whereas in another language, I can't necessarily do that as well. And I'm more likely to express how excited I am about something earnestly and sincerely, which actually I think is fairly emotionally healthy, just to occasionally be more sincere.
Yeah.
You know? So it is a little different. A little more outgoing and a little more willing to talk about what I care about. Whereas in English, honestly, I don't tell anybody I meet about the stuff that I do. I mean, I explained what I do here, but if I walk up to somebody, I'm not going to really talk about any of the things I'm passionate about unless they bring them up, because I just won't think it's worth talking about. But in another language, I will.
Okay, so that's our video. So we've watched step 1. We had no subtitles. We watched without stopping. Okay, now we're gonna go to step 2. We're gonna watch the video with same language subtitles. Now, in this case, the same language is English, so we don't have a different subtitle. We just have same language subtitles. Okay, so let's watch it again. Let's rewind, and here we go again. By the way, in a real class, there'd be real students here, and there'd be some there'd be there's probably going to be a period of time where students comment on the video like, whoa, that was hard. Whoa, that was this. Or maybe you might even ask students like, oh, what did you think of the video? What percentage did you understand of the video? Was it easy? Was it hard? Just to gauge where they're at. Because maybe you thought while preparing for the class that this video would be really hard, but then the student goes, oh, it was actually super easy. It was super duper easy. And you're like, oh, interesting. Either he thinks he understood a lot of it, but he really didn't, or I misjudged and this video was too easy, right? So it's good to kind of check in with a student after you've done that step 1. So let's re-listen with the subtitles this time as per step 2. Do you find that you have a different personality in the different languages you speak?
I'm more sincere in other languages. I can lean a little heavily on sarcasm, or I guess not expressing all of my like positive emotions. I'll rely on humor and sarcasm and things in English, whereas in another language, I can't necessarily do that as well. And I'm more likely to express how excited I am about something earnestly and sincerely, which actually I think is fairly emotionally healthy, just to occasionally be more sincere.
Yeah.
You know? So it is a little different, a little more outgoing and a little more willing to talk about what I care about. Whereas in English, honestly, I don't tell anybody I meet about the stuff that I do. I mean, I explained what I do here, but if I walk up to somebody, I'm not going to really talk about any of the things I'm passionate about unless they bring them up, because I just won't think it's worth talking about. But in another language, I will.
Okay. Funnily enough, actually, as I was watching this, there's a couple of small errors in the subtitles, actually, which is interesting. A couple of small mistakes. Which, by the way, if you're watching this with students, that might be something worth pointing out as you're analyzing, like, hey, there's a couple small mistakes in the subtitles, which is interesting. So, okay. So that's our step 2. Now you've watched it with subtitles. You check in with the students again. Hey, was that easier? Was that harder? How about now? How are you feeling about that video? Cool. Blah 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 blah. You have a great discussion about it all. Now we'd enter our next step, which would be to watch the video with the same language and English subtitles. It doesn't apply for us because we only have same language subtitles here, which happen to be English subtitles. And now we're going to go through the video line by line. Now, I'm not going to actually do the whole video because that would take us quite some time, actually, and we don't even have a real student here, so I'm kind of role-playing, but let me role-play a little bit just to give you an idea of what I mean by this. So I'll pretend there's a student here. So let's give our student a name. Let's say the student's name is Jack. So Jack, so we have the title here. Can you read that out for me? And Jack says, okay, sure. Do you have a different personality in the languages you speak? Oh, right. So he's read the title now. Nice job, Jack. Good job. Do you have any questions on that title? Basically, what he's asking is like, do you act the same in languages that you speak? Does that make sense to you? Yeah, I think so. Great. You understand the word personality, Jack? Yeah, I know what that means. It's like you were saying, the way you act, right? Yeah, exactly. Like your personality might be shy or extroverted or excited. People have different types of personalities, right? Outgoing, confident. Oh yeah, I know that one. Great. Hey, Azren, I'm pretending to be Jack here. Hey, Azren, quick question. I see the capital, there's an N and the I is capital. Why is that capital? Oh, good question, Jack. Yeah, it's I don't know. I think, whoever made this video here, definitely wasn't me. Whoever made this video here must have made a mistake in the subtitles here. It really should be a small I. Good catch, Jack. Yeah, it's really good. That's a very good point. It should be a small I. Oh, thanks, Azren. Okay, let's go to the next line. Do you find that you... So here we have this question here. Do you find that you have a different personality in the different languages you speak? You want to try reading that, Jack? Yeah, sure. Do you have, or do you do? Oh, that's hard, Azren. Yeah, it's okay. Nice and slow. So then he reads it out. Jack reads it out. Great. So let's talk about what this means, Jack. Or actually, Jack, why don't you tell me what is this? What's this question mean here? Is that something you understand? How about you explain it to me? What's he saying? Oh, he's saying that like he's asking like, oh, this is hard. Oh, I think he's asking. I think he's asking like if people like just like in the title, right? It's the same as the title question, right? Yeah, very good. Yeah, so he's asking if people act different in other languages. Nice job, Jack. Good. Very good. I don't think there's much here to talk about. Do you have any specific questions? No, I think it's okay. Great. Go to the next line. You have a different personality in the different languages you speak?
I'm more sincere.
So I'll read this out for you here, Jack. I'm more sincere in other languages. I can lean a little heavy on, and then he keeps going. So I think there's some things here, Jack, maybe you won't understand. I'm thinking maybe like, because we've worked together for a few months, Jack, I think there's a couple things that we definitely haven't seen that are probably new. First of all, do you know what sincere means? Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, sincere means, explain what sincere means. Great, does that make sense, Jack? Yeah, that makes sense. Great. Anything else? I think everything else, you probably understand this, right? Oh, Azren, I don't understand what it means to be a little heavy. What does that mean? Oh, great question, Jack. Blah, 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 blah. Explain what it means. And then one thing I'll often do is I'll have students explain what it means. If I have a doubt that they actually understand, because some students are like, yes, I understand, but they actually don't, or there's something they're unclear on. So I often have the student explain to me in their own words what the person is saying to check that they understand. So that's something I'll often do as well. And so we're going to do this throughout the whole line, every single line. Literally, look at this. We made it through, what, 10 seconds? 11 seconds, 10, 11 seconds in like, what, 8 minutes? So imagine like 1 minute video is going to take a long time. We're not even done, right? So you're going to do that for the whole video, line by line. Then we're going to go on to our next step. We're going to rewatch the video with subtitles, right? So you're going to rewatch the whole thing from the beginning. You'll hit play. And you watch the video again with the subtitles. A different personality in the different languages you speak. Once you've done it with subtitles, we go back again. We play it again, but we hide the subtitles. They're hidden. Do you find that you have a different, right? We hide them, right? And then we may have to repeat some steps a couple of times. We may have to kind of re-go through a few steps, go through them again, make sure it's clear, make sure they understand. And that's what that looks like. So let me stop the screen share here. There we go. So yeah, if you want another demo, that video in the PowerPoint, I realize a lot of you are watching this live, maybe I'll put that video link in the description. If I forget, I hope I don't. I shouldn't forget, but if I do forget, please comment and I'll see it and I'll remember to go put it retroactively in the comments, in the description. I'll put a link to that video there so you guys can click it, and you guys can see another demo of me going through that process. What I do in that one video, the process I follow is very similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very, very similar, and it'll give you a very, very good idea of how to do it. So. All right, guys, I appreciate your attention as per always. Thank you. If you want to watch this live next time, you're welcome to do so. We always have a Q&A discussion portion at the end, so that's not recorded. So you guys are welcome to join us. I'll put a link in the description for that too. And yeah, we'll chat later. Bye-bye, guys. See you. Thanks again. Hope you liked it.